but then she is old, and she can't be expected to remember everything. I grew up around my mother's artwork, helping her out in her studio, I say, more loudly than I mean to. And then I went to art school myself. Mum's work was focused on found objects, making art from bits of nature, feathers, leaves, and twigs. Lepidoptera aren't bits of nature, Miss Brown. She also made sculptures out of grains of rice in her spare time. I helped her. Why on earth would anyone do that? She leaves the question hanging in the air and turns her chair abruptly, wheeling herself back to her desk. The chair is made from cane. It looks like an antique, and I'm surprised it still works. It must be exhausting to propel. It's a shame you don't have a scientific background, but now you're here, you'll have to do. Here, hold this. She lifts a pair of gold tweezers into the air, and I hasten forward and take them. No, not like that. Pinch, gently. That's it. I adjust my hold, and feel how the spring of the tines is like an extension of my fingers, and I'm back with my mother, and she's saying, Careful, Tartelin. Don't squeeze too hard. Feather barbs bruise easily. But before I can use this newfound body part, the tweezers are whisked away from me, and she's turning again to the desk and bending over her work. I stand by her side and wait, wondering if I'm allowed to go. The clock on the mantel chimes loudly. I count 8. I look at my watch. It's 2:10. Miss Stourbridge, shall I adjust your clock? No point. It'll only go back to 8 o'clock. I look over at it, frowning. The second hand is juddering in jerky movements. It makes me dizzy to look at it, as if it's measuring a different kind of time. I turn back to my employer. Miss Stourbridge is so still as she works. I can see her teasing the body of a dead moth from a cocoon, her fingers moving infinitesimally slowly. I look around the room. It is lined in dark panels of wood, and every surface has frames and frames of butterflies and moths, glinting pins plunged into husked bodies. Did you catch all these butterflies? She is silent, and at first I think she hasn't heard me. But then I see she's holding her breath, so as not to disturb the moth's delicate wings. I watch closely, the clock ticking behind us. I'm looking not at her work, but at her ribs, waiting for them to inflate, waiting for her nostrils to swell. Anything that shows air is passing into her chest. My eyes sting from the pain of staring. She is so still that she has become a part of the chair she sits in. Only her finger and thumb move achingly slowly, and the minutes tick by. When I was young, I used to try to be as still as she is now. My mother would sit me on her knee and tell me stories, and I would hold myself as still as a statue, bewitched by her tales. Long ago, she always began, in a voice that was reserved only for when the moon was rising. I was a tiny jellied spawn, no bigger than a pearl, floating in the earth's great oceans. The fish nibbled and swallowed my brothers and sisters up, snap, 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 and I was left, coming at last to rest on the pebbled shore of a beach. And that is how I came to have these, she would say, waving her hands in front of my face, so close that they skimmed my eyelashes, and all I could see was the thin layer of webbed skin between each finger. To my unprejudiced 4-year-old eyes, the webs were not a deformity. They were beautiful, useful, magical. And I wished with all my heart that I could be like her, could be from the sea. I take my eyes from the poor moth on the desk and look over Miss Stourbridge's head to the picture window that frames the sea beyond. And I remember anew that the sea surrounds us here, like a comforting arm holding the world at bay. A feeling of calm settles over me. However strange this woman is, whatever my job might entail, it was the right decision to come here. I can feel it. I had seen the advertisement in one of Mum's ornithological magazines.